Hey guys, Stealth here. Today in Cold Waters we're going to be playing the Russians. Now this is not an official version of the game. This is a mod that unlocks all of the Russian submarines that you can encounter in the game. So we're going to go into the campaign, 1984. We're going to start up a new one. And we are going to pick the biggest ship that we can find. No, that's not the narwhal, that is this beauty of a ship. Or boat, I believe I should say. The Typhoon nuclear ballistic missile submarine Red October. Now this thing is enormous. The Red October has 48,000 tons displacement, 198 meters long. Keep in mind that this thing is longer than some surface ships, frigates for example. 28 meters wide, 164 crew, but this thing only travels at 14 knots. We're going to pick the standard Typhoon. So this one is slightly less long, 175 meters, 26 knots, and that speed can be really useful. Now we have various weapons on board this submarine. We have the Test 71. Test 71 has a range of 27,000 yards and travels at 40 knots. Then we have the USET 80s. Now these are the ones that are dropped by the aircraft, for example. The USET 80s are torpedoes that really don't have a range that's great. 8,700 yards, 41 knots. They're really short range weapons. Set 65 torpedoes. These are the ones that are pretty similar to the Test 71. Their range is less at 17,500 yards, but they're also traveling at 40 knots. And then we have the SSN 16 missiles. Now this one functions as a quick long-distance drop-off for a torpedo. So what this does is send up a cruise missile. The cruise missile then transfers or travels towards the target where it drops a torpedo, and then you're off to the races with a torpedo. And then it drops a USET 80. So, let's go hunting Russians with Russians. We are in command of the Arkhangelsk TK-12. By the way, if you're looking on how to install this mod, you can find the information for that in the description down below. It is really easy. Just copy and paste. Anyways, we're dealing with a wolf pack of enemy attack submarines, to be believed to be operating in an area about 200 miles north of Iceland. Important NATO naval forces will be moving into this region shortly, therefore you are ordered to find and sink all enemy attack subs in the area. We might be seeing additional naval forces passing through the area. Enemy naval forces, that is. My objective is to go after the attack submarines, but if I can find anything else, I'm probably allowed to hit those guys as well. Now, as for my weapons, mostly I'm going to go in with a couple of Test 71s and some SSN 16s. I also have the MG74. This is a decoy. I actually don't use these things at all, but I really should, especially with a sub this large. So, cast off, anchors away. Now we're expecting them 200 miles north of Iceland, so that is in, yes, I now know where it is, the Denmark Strait, or at least that's where they might be heading. If they break out through the Denmark Strait, they're going to be crossing into the North Atlantic, and I don't want them there, because there they can harass the NATO convoys. So let's see if we can find these submarines before they operate in this area. And hopefully my aircraft happen to do a flyover and find these guys. So far nothing. A lot of blue aircraft flying over. Oh, hello boys. You're about to meet your Typhoon buddy. New sonar contact, bearing 17, designates Sierra 1. I'm going to close to 20,000 yards because I am a pretty big sucker. And I do not want to get caught out with a submarine. I mean, just look at it. This thing is enormous when compared to Los Angeles. It carries far more weapons, or at least more torpedoes, and of course, yes, it is modeled. Here are all the launch bays for the intercontinental, or actually submarine launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs. And this thing, as you may have seen with, I believe, the actually, it's not in Red October, it's in one of the books that I read. Typhoons have a double hull, which means that they don't, well, I'm not going to say they don't care about being hit by the torpedo, but at least they're going to be able to survive that for significantly longer. They are capable of sustaining immense amounts of damage without sinking. Now we already have 2 Sierras. Let's see if we can identify these guys. I think we're dealing with subs. We might be dealing with a Delta 3. Alright, so Sierra 1 is a potential Delta 3 class sub. You are something else. You might be a Juliet. This would make sense. Having a Juliet and a... what could be a Charlie? Or Sierra. The Sierra could be the escort for the Juliet. Now we're going to just continue to run extremely silently and just continue our sonar analysis. It seems that we may have caught them in our... What the hell? Launch transient from Sierra 1. Okay, so Sierra 1 is quite a bit closer than I was expecting him to be. I'm going to put 2 torpedoes in the water. And we're going to try and turn this submarine around. That could take a while. I'm not sure if this is the way that it should be, but only the bottom section of my rudder is active. I think that the top section is supposed to move as well, but isn't. Again, it's a mod. Don't expect any miracles. But, well, talking of it, I think it's pretty impressive that they already unlocked these things, as it were. Now, in case you're wondering, I have a couple of bow planes here. These, as you can see, can be rigged in, as it's called. This way that you bring in the bow planes into the submarine. And that way you don't have anything sticking out of the sub, except for the whole fin of it, the sail, and the rudder. And with that you can break through the ice. And they can break through a lot of ice. Now it looks like that torpedo is still coming for me. And it has acquired. So we're going to drop a noisemaker, see if we can confuse this guy. I said we're going to drop a noisemaker. Oh, Jesus, that was close. That was way too close for comfort. Let's see if this guy's going to reacquire, and he probably will be. Dancing with a Typhoon sub? No thanks. Now these torpedoes tend to do a circle to the right, and there we go, he's back at me. I'll head flank. Forming knuckles with a Los Angeles class is pretty easy. Forming knuckles with a Typhoon, not so much. Because the rudder is simply not powerful enough to bring around one of these giant subs. You're heading that way, I'm heading the other way. I still have my torpedoes out. I'm not sure if they have been able to find something yet, because they seem to be running still in a straight line. Here we go again. Noisemaker deployed. Let's see, these are my torpedoes. And this looks exactly... No, actually. Could be a set 65. Shit. Come on, drop one. We dropped a noisemaker. I'm gonna try and head away from this thing. Sierra 1 re-established. Interesting. Okay, we're not going to be able to ascend fast enough. And it looks like we might be rigged for an emergency surface. Not exactly intentional, but look at this thing. Now I'm hoping that he is set up to ignore me when I'm on the surface, but I guess that is idle hope, as he's still coming for me. Drop another noisemaker. He just disregarded the noisemaker. This is going to be a hit. Unless... No, he couldn't climb fast enough. That's one way to do it. But we're not done yet. because he can still do that again. Now we do have a perfect line on the Victor too. Can we see where he is? Yeah, he's below the duct. Torpedo is now circling above me. I'm trying to maneuver outside the cone of it. I don't want to be caught inside the seeker cone of that torp. We're going to slow down, otherwise I'm going to blow up my own tubes as I launch another torpedo. There's the bad guy. He fired again. Ready tube 3 in all respects. Oh, this is not going to be pretty. Tube 3 is away. Tube 3 go now. No, we're not going to the surface, buddy. We are not going to the surface. We are, however, with the whole sub. That will cause my line to break, but so be it. And we're going to send this guy another package. Now that was just before the sub started spinning up or speeding up so much that I'm not going to be able to fire any torpedoes anymore. One is acquired. Narrowly danced around that one again. We're cavitating. There are so many torpedoes in the water at this point that I barely know who's who. And every torpedo is dangerous to both of us now. There's no such thing as a friendly torpedo. Looks like this Victor is running away as quickly as he can. Some torpedoes decided to run out of fuel. Slow. We still have tube 6, but tube 6 is running too high. We need to steer tube 6 down a bit. Fortunately, tube 6 is not really in a mood to listen to my commands. Alright, we'll just have to send another torpedo his way. Immediately active, go deep. At this point we're so close that it really doesn't matter. Don't go that high, damn it. He fired another. Up, 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 up. It looks like my torpedo may have acquired the target. And his torpedo is running too deep for me. So his torpedo should not be able to find me. But that might be wishful thinking. We're sailing directly underneath. Wire brake on the Test 71. Reload. All tubes. Is he being hit? He's being hit. However, these Russian torpedoes don't do enough damage. At least not as much as a Mark 48. So we're going to have to hit him again. This is going to be another very, very short range shot. He's at 1,300 yards. Tube 2's away. How deep is this guy? Almost at maximum depth. Looks like he's already got some issues to deal with, as another one of my torpedoes may have acquired the target. Just dropped a noisemaker. Torpedoes coming around for a second pass. Not sure it acquired. I don't think so. The other torpedo is just merrily heading off on its own way. It's not really interested in the submarine at all. Oh, come on. What are you up to? Not you, not you. You. My torpedo is way too high. Relative. It may have acquired. Not that one, not that one. We did see another noisemaker. That's me. I think he crushed himself. He went too deep. You can see some debris over there. We can see a dead submarine, a Victor 1 on the map there. So that is one dead sub. But I think that there might be others out there. So we're just going to have to wait and see. And in the meanwhile, try not to get hit by another torpedo. Because we saw multiple Sierra contacts, we sunk one. And now where is his friend? Reload 2. Still have plenty of torpedoes left. The Juliet was last seen apparently to our northeast. Let's increase speed to flank. Let's chase after that Juliet over there. Make your course 045 is okay. Now normally a Typhoon submarine would really not be prowling like I am with it. This thing, as far as I know its operational procedures, it would just try and stay hidden. It would have a friendly submarine probably nearby, trying to shield it from enemy subs and make sure it does not get chased down, because this would be part of Russia's counter ballistic, or at least not so much counter, but ballistic reaction force. Same as the American boats. Now of course at this speed I'm deaf. Sonar's completely blown out. The Juliet probably does not have that same issue. But he, like me, is not really designed to go on the offensive. Let's rig for ultra quiet. See if I can find this guy again. I'm very, very tempted to go with active sonar. Where are you? He could be above the layer. It's not likely. I wouldn't want to be there as a submarine. Unless I'm being hunted by another submarine. Let's go and have a listen above the layer. Nothing here so far. Do we have a towed array? We do have a towed array. Nice. Let's let it listen. I'll stop. Nothing. I think it may have just vanished off into the northeast. Let's go a little bit deeper because I'm still cavitating. Passing 300, 400, 500, that'll do. According to this, there are still vessels nearby. Rig the ship for ultra quiet. Again, listen. Let's do a complete turn. Still nearby. Now, as you can see, it takes quite a while to put 48,000 tons in a complete 360. Nothing. It's not nearby anymore. So he might still be running off to the northeast. Let's chase him down. Insofar as I can keep up with the Typhoon. I mean, I can make a top speed of 26. Not exactly sure what the top speed of a Juliet is. But he could be rather fast. I believe a Juliet is... yeah, it's a nuclear sub. So he can be really, really fast. And comparatively, 26 knots is, for a nuclear sub, pretty slow. Anyway, these guys weren't even my target. They just happened to get... actually, no, they were. So I still need to find them. Switching to active. I'm actually trying to provoke this guy into firing. I want to see where that torpedo comes from. If he's going to take the bait, which he very well might not. I'll have 2/3 full turn. Where could he be? Not a clue. Alright, let's just leave the combat. Yeah, the Juliet escaped. Disappointing. Alright, let's see what other targets they have for me. Sub-attack. Enemy Spetsnaz commanders will land from a submarine in the vicinity of Hoffen within the next week. You're ordered to intercept and eliminate before they land. We need to locate and sink any escorting subs. So we're expecting more than one. And they're going to be landing... sorry, Hafen, I think. They're going to be trying to land here. What's the news? Communism strikes into Norway. Okay. That might be the subgroup I'm looking for right there. He seems to be going in a pretty straight line for my destination. Hello. Head to head. Alright, close to 15,000 yards. And Rigveld. So he should be to my starboard. Somewhere over here. Whoa, whoa, whoa! How did you find me? Am I really making that much noise? I mean, I will be now. Oh, he's still acquired. He's gonna hit. He's not gonna hit. How did that thing not hit? Go active. I want to find out where these guys are. Because apparently they have an acoustic advantage on me. Zero 1 located. 15% accuracy though. Torpedoes on me again. Noisemaker discouraged them a little bit. This is gonna hit. Alright, damage control. We lost 7% of our hit points. That is how little one torpedo damages this sub. Now, we're gonna make our course 090. And we're gonna find this guy. Unfortunately, without my reactor, I don't have any propulsion at the moment. So I'm just using the momentum that I have left. Sierra 2 has been detected. And we have it identified. Victor 3. Roger that. And he's quite close. Cancel active sonar. Alright, we're ahead 1/3, so the reactor's repaired. Whoa, we still have some fish in the water. One coming directly for me. Noisemaker apparently dissuaded him from attacking for a little bit. But I cannot stay here. Another torpedo is acquired, that guy. There's another one. So far this torpedo is not longer going for the Noisemaker. Oh, this is why I never use the Typhoon. It's too big. Hit. Down to 87%. They're gonna have to hit me quite a few times in order to do some actual damage. Alright, let's send these torpedoes out. We still have a torpedo on us? I wanna not get hit again. Thank you. Now, I already blew emergency ballast, or all ballast, so we're not really going to be able to get a good control of the submarine until we have that done. So we have 3 tubes, or 3 torpedoes in the water. And hopefully these things are cruising too deep for me to be detected. And the problem now is that I have to surface and get some of my air back. Shit, we have another torpedo on us. There he is. This is the second time I have surfaced in 2 missions. Oh, there's another torpedo. Oh joy. Ballast 55. I cannot make as much speed on the surface as I can below the water. So I want to submerge as quickly as possible. Torpedo is acquired. And now it hasn't. There we go, that one has acquired. Not sure we can even form a knuckle this close to the surface, but we can try. Quick zigzag. Okay, now we have 2 torpedoes coming at me. Drop a Noisemaker right behind us. Victor 3's cavitating. I'm surprised we can still see him. There we go, that torpedo is gone. Probably ran out of fuel. He's distracted by the Noisemaker. Surprised we can still hear this guy. He's way too far away. In that case, we're gonna load some different weaponry. And we're gonna send him a gift at long range. We have a few of these SSN-16s ready to go. And we're going to be using them. There's 3 torpedoes. There we go, that's the target. There's the Victor 3. Victor 3 is probably running at this point. 26 knots. My torpedoes have a speed of 40 to 41. And they probably are not going to be able to hit the target. Alright, we have our air back. I need to know exactly where that Victor is. 74 is not good enough. He's too close. Sonar launch engine. Okay. He fired again. Tube 3 away. Dive. Been on the surface for long enough. I really hate how this thing detected me way before I detected him. Hang on, he's coming right at me. Okay. Of course, all my torpedoes are completely going to miss the mark. Set tubes 4, 5 and 6 ready to go deep. There's the torpedo. I'm not sure he's acquired. Yep, he's acquired. Looks like tracking behavior to me. And it looks like he got hit, but again not sunk. And his torpedo is now coming for me. I'm starting to rapidly run out of noisemakers. I only have 6 of them left. Make that 5. Somebody just decided to go active with the sonar. Probably that Victor again. Torpedo's coming around for another pass. That had better not be my torpedo. Well, it might be. Contact re-established with the Victor. What are you doing? It's not one of my torps. Doesn't matter, definitely hit him. Passing 500. Come on. Hit. Down to 77%. There's still another ship in the area. That must be Sierra 1. Down to our northeast. I cannot repair an ultra quiet. Fine. Speed up, fix the pumps, we need those. Sierra 1 has been re-established and seems to be active. And coming awful close. He's even pinging away. What's he hoping to achieve? Oh, that. He fired. Fine. The amount of torpedoes I have fired in this single campaign is higher than most, I think higher than all the torpedoes combined I've fired. Okay, we got 2 of them coming at us. All ahead flank. We're going to surface, or at least get closer to. And hope that we can stay outside the seeker cone of those torpedoes. Hopefully before they can enable. Although I'm again not sure if the AI actually uses that. Cavitating. That's unfortunate, but we'll live. Another launch engine? He fired another torpedo. Bloody hell, you have to be kidding. Yep, he immediately acquired me. 4 noisemakers left. At least these other 2 torps won't be a problem. Here, go chase something else. Active sonar, where's my target? All of his torpedoes should no longer be an issue because they all passed right behind me. No, he's acquired again. That one. And we have another one. Noisemaker dropped. He's, oh, narrowly flown across the boat. That's the dead one. Where's the live one? Oh crap. Those other 2 torpedoes, they came around and have reacquired. I'm down to 4 noisemakers. Alright, here's the tactic. We're going to drop a noisemaker until just before the moment of impact. And then we're going to go immediately up to the surface as these torpedoes shoot underneath me. Noisemaker deployed, all ahead flank. We're cavitating. Jesus, another one? Yeah, he's reacquired. Oh dear. Both of them have reacquired, actually. And once again, we're at the surface. I seem to have to pull all sorts of weird tricks in order to deal with these torpedoes when I am in a submarine that's this big. It's both a blessing and a burden, because on the one hand this thing can take torpedoes, unlike for example Los Angeles. On the other hand, it is so damn sluggish and seems to be very easy to acquire. Also, I think my noisemaker display is not accurate. Hit. There's the target. 1 acquired. Hit. Sierra's down. We're not done yet, because there's still another torpedo in the water. We're at 61%. We still haven't really suffered any massive damage to the systems. There's my torpedo. Or at least the one that's coming after me. Now, I can generally dive a bit faster than a torpedo. So I hope to be able to use that element to avoid this guy. We're completely out of noisemakers, despite the fact that... Oh, never mind. Stores have been updated. Come on. He lost me. Stay with the torpedo. He's making a starboard turn. We're making a starboard turn. We're going to see who can outturn who. He's snaking again. He's not done yet. He's about to turn port again. He's just snaking. That's that torpedo or the submarine dead. And squarely on the bottom. We have flooding? Why? Which area is that? The pump area. But because we're too deep. Great. I'm gonna have to get a little bit less deep in order to make sure we don't flood. But we still have the torpedo to deal with. He's acquired. Oh, not this shit again. Emergency surface, he's gonna hit. Ouch. Plane's damaged. This is the 4th torpedo I took, I think. We still have weapons nearby. The 4th torpedo that I took, and I'm still here. That is what these things can do. And we're going to get to the surface so we can fix our systems and especially get rid of that flooding in the pumps area. There we go, fixed. We're cavitating. But we're live and we have completed the mission. Not quite. We lost 1 Victor 3. Excellent initiative. Oh, these were not the targets I was supposed to look for. Oh well. Anyway, that's it for this video. We're going to be looking for more targets next time, as I hope I still have weapons left to engage the new targets with. And it's going to be interesting to see how many torpedoes this thing can take. There are just a lot of them that have already hit, and there are a lot of them that haven't done a lot of damage. Anyway, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon for more submarine warfare.